And like some of those guys just could not get on because it was just too many A-list guys.
Yeah.
Like you put Young Dro in this era, he's going to be a completely different animal.
And the way he slide on the track.
Come
like
on, man.
Punchline for punchline, he was like the down south Cassidy.
Yeah, man. A lot of those guys is born in the wrong era. But those are C-list artists then. Like those are guys that were doing the small clubs. They would be like A-list guys. Young Dro was
songs was banging everywhere.
Crazy.
And he was snapping.
Young Dro was crazy. Like he would be like some of those guys. I understand what you're saying. You know, your era, and then you attach things with what you did, and I understand that. But there is a level of talent like Young Dro just was born in the wrong era. You understand? It was hard for him because he's on the T.I. label, and that's another name. Like fuck it, how we leave T.I. out? Like he was a monster in that era, and like some of those guys just could not get on because it was just too many fucking A-list guys.
Yeah.
Like you put Young Dro in this era, he's going to be a completely different animal.
And the way he slide on the track.
Come on, man.
Punchline for punchline, he was like the down south Cassidy.
Yeah, man. A lot of those guys is born in the wrong era. And then you moved it to music, so this analogy wouldn't work as good, right? Because you're saying how music makes you feel a different way, but I don't feel like my era of basketball was the best. Like I feel like that era of basketball was one of the worst, NBA wise. I'm talking about. It was like one of the worst in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like when you compare it to the other eras, But now if you tell me music is different because it's a feeling attached to it. You understand? But
I just think that's
a part.
I think that's just a part of it because it becomes the soundtrack of what for many people is the best part of their life. And that's why it's hard to convince them otherwise. Now, if somebody's like truly musical or into music and they have a deeper bag of artists that they've listened to and dedicated and they understand it musically, they're going to have a different response. But if you're just talking about an average person, they're going to basically, I need the soundtrack of my prime, and I'm going to take that over everything. That's why I think there's a lot of people that fall into that category. Are they right? I don't think they're right, but that's the psychology of where they're at.
But what about this though? Because a lot of younger people would agree with the fact of R&B was better in the 90s and early 2000s versus what it is now.
Yeah, R&B is different. It was promoted different on a different level, and it was more just widely spread, widely appreciated.
The touring was a bigger thing, like that made you draw and get closer to the people. Like people still tour now, but you get to know everything about the artists. You don't have to go see them because they already live everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, R&B is almost like WNBA basketball now.
Oh, this guy.
Your shots fired at me. I still enjoy my R&B.
Like he slid today. He's been waiting to find a way to slide today.
Today's R&B, I'm saying. I ain't talking about.
Who is today's R&B? Like,
who is the best WNBA player right now?
That I don't know. Are we talking like Usher? Or are we talking?
No, Usher's not today's R&B.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who is?
Like Jacquees?
He would be one of them, I guess. Even Jacquees is a little outdated now. You would have to go to like Black. Black is one. You know of him? The guy, I think he's from Atlanta. But he spells his name differently. It's like BLAXT or something like that. But he's one of the best ones. Then there's some women. There's more women in the R&B game that's more prevalent.
Yeah.
You can name quite a few of those.
Give me R. Kelly.
Listen, those cats that sang with Toby Nwigwe.
Oh, they got pipes.
Yeah,
they got pipes.
Those two cats.
Yeah. Toby know what they doing over there.
Yeah, they is amazing on them singing.
Yeah. Those guys come from the church. You could just tell.
all good R&B comes from the church, man.
Yeah. Those pipes you just don't.
You don't get it any other way.
All right, that's good. So Nelly's not crazy for saying his era of rap is the best. I'm with you.
That was a lot of like strong music, and like you said, it's just everybody was making strong music. Yeah. So you had to be top notch just to even be around.
Yeah, I saw Jason's response to it was, "Do y'all really label Nelly as a rapper?"
Well, I mean, it's funny that he's the guy making the quote because he's in my book he's pretty mid.
Especially for that era. Yeah, I mean, he was a B-list artist, but he had A-list hits.
He had it. He had what they call the it
factor.
factor.
And then he had, which would attach to the childhood thing, the BET Uncut. That was like was
the
Nelly.
tip drill.
You can't. He owns that. He's the face of that.
Yeah. He was also an epic MTV Rock and Jock guy.
I wouldn't.
He dominated anything they did.
Yeah.
I remember he roasted Nick Lachey of 98 Degrees in flag football.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Nelly was like a star though. You know what I'm saying?
He was a star.
Like it wasn't just because he made good music. Like he changed his rap style anyways from the way he used to rap, how he used to rap. But that Country Grammar album, that was a hard album. Yeah. That Nellyville was hard.
I forget the award show that he did, but he did Country Grammar at an award show, and he turned that place up. Man.
That's what I'm saying.
It was legitimately a fantastic performance. And it was one of those ones where like he had a bunch of people with him. They were in the crowd walking around, shirts off, just doing their thing.
Has he done a Tiny Desk yet? I would listen to a Nelly Tiny Desk.
You know, I would, but I don't think he's done
so.
one.
I don't think he has.
That'll be dope.
Yeah. Now, not everybody does well in those. Jesus just did one that was pretty bad. But it was like, it was a mixture of things, though. Like, it was the wrong location, the wrong crowd. Like, the crowd was just not into it at all. And then he had
what
one
type of crowd do
where,
they have at that Tiny Desk? I thought it was like literally in an office without necessarily a live crowd.
It depends.
Well, it is a crowd, but we don't never get to see him. It's rare they show the crowd.
Oh, okay.
But it is a small room. Like
I thought it was not unlike this room here.
Some people do it's different. Like some people do it in the library, some people do it in the offices.
Oh, okay. I thought there was kind of like
they kind of have a setup. They have a setup in general.
Okay.
But yeah.
I
got you.
The setup does look similar.
Because Scarface's was hard.
Oh, Scarface was crazy. Yeah. Scarface was good. Juvenile and Manny Fresh was good.
Yep.
Yeah, they had some good ones now. Young Thug had a really good one, and it was in a different setting.
Okay, I got you.
But his was like crazy. Yeah. Shout out to Thug.
Like Usher's went hard.
Yeah, Usher's.
That's Usher's.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have like them Tiny Desks be going.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other artists that did a nice Tiny Desk.
Wale's
was alright.
I haven't seen Wale's, but I could see that.
I like Wale's.
I think it takes that type of music. I don't know. I haven't that crunk style that Jeezy had. Maybe it's just the wrong style for that type, because everyone else has different type of music. I know Scarface is gangster rap, but his is not the same as Jeezy. It's not the same tempo. It's not the same.
I think
But I feel like Jeezy should have been able to if Juvie was able to, because Juvie had some beats that made you be able to, and you can flip those beats for every. It's like it's the song choice.
Maybe Manny with him made a difference. Maybe because Manny Fresh was there and was able to like organize that.
I think in the Tiny Desk I've seen though, it's not purely music. There's an element of your personality that comes through in that setting.
Yeah.
Whatever your stage persona is, it's usually like bigger and grander in a way. But when you're in the Tiny Desk, you're literally in a tiny space, but you gotta project in that way that it's gonna be engaging.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
and
like
not everybody has that
environment in a sense.
Yeah. You strip away a lot of the tools that a lot of people have in their live performance, and it's like, okay, who are you now?
He was stumbling over words and stuff, but like you say, it's probably because
maybe he drank a little too much before the show.
Well, he had just got divorced. You know,
his mind wasn't in the right place. Wasn't he shooting a shot at Nia Long around the same time?
I'm sure. Hey,
remember we talked about it though.
Yeah, they talked about that.
You're newly single.
Too distracted.
Yeah.
Smashed a couple of those before the show wasn't at his best.
Is that out of bounds to go at Nia right after the Celtics coach had did that? You kind of like
he was out of bounds.
He's a
you
piece
go
of
out
shit.
of bounds.
I'm not. You know what's up? I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Shots are shots. You fire them. What are we doing?
I don't know. If I was Ume, I'd be like, hey, man, give me a couple of months. Give me a few weeks.
Buddy, you played yourself with the white women. Like, we're not worried about you.
Yeah, they might not give him a lot of love on that one.
Who could turn down some rich white coochie, man? It's got to be tough to turn down.
Really?
It has to be tough to turn down.
I don't know. When they put their Klan hood on.
Well, maybe you do it they have the Klan hood. That's an experience.
I guess it is. The new Project 1619. Damn, Bubba.
I have to try that before I leave this earth.
I don't usually bang white women, but when I do, they wear a hood.
I might even put it on my black girl. I don't know.
Really?
Just something to, yeah.
Wow.
If you get her to do it, I guess.
It ain't hard. It ain't hard.
Do you?
Bubba, man, you're a little wild guy over there.
After our guest last week, man,
She opened you up.
Yeah.